Here we are at question 8 of the second passage of Reading Comprehension drill set number 3. And when you're engaging with question 8, which is the second question of this passage after the first question, number 7, you may consider skipping this on the first pass as you work through these questions because it is clearly concerned with a specific detail from a specific term. And anytime you need to reread to answer a question, you may want to skip that question so that you get all of the main idea questions first handled, because that way you won't get bogged down and overemphasize any of the details that you've read about to that point for other questions. But for the purposes of this video, we're going to just read question 8 with our highlight tool selected, and we're going to highlight what the specific task and subject matter is. So 8 reads, according to the passage, Bloch's research on the king's touch is primarily concerned with blank. So I'm going to just highlight Bloch's research on the king's touch is primarily concerned. So hopefully we remember from our recently completed upfront read that the king's touch is here in this second paragraph. So I need to read at least a sentence above and a sentence below this clear reference of the king's touch. And if you've gone through and done all of the subsequent main idea questions at this point, and this is part of a second pass through the questions, you can actually select a different highlight color. And we're going to just highlight the king's touch so that I know exactly what I'm concerned with. So we're going to read that sentence above through the sentence below, which states, the royal touch was a pace-setting exploration of mentalité, a study of the apparently miraculous power of English and French monarchs to cure the disease of scrofula by laying their hands on the afflicted. Bloch's work transformed old anecdotes about the king's touch into a history of the origins, meanings, and demise of ritual kinship. The royal touch has remained the freshest of all Bloch's books. Okay, so we want to predict in our own mind why the author mentioned the research on the king's touch, and it's basically to provide a history of the origins and demise of ritual kingship. So I've got that in mind. And again, you can see you could use the highlight tool, especially if you've gone and dealt with all the main idea highlights, to focus yourself on what's relevant. So now we keep that highlight tool ready, and we're going to eliminate reasons or highlight reasons to eliminate as we go. So starting with choice A, causes and cure of scrofula. Well, we aren't actually concerned with the causes and cure of the disease. The whole thing is definitely just not what we predicted, so we can eliminate that. Then we've got the origins of lordship. Well, no, we didn't talk about the origin of it. It's about the way in which the history of these things informed this idea of ritual kingship. So we can eliminate choice B for that reason. Then choice C, the bond between monarchs and vassals. Well, you might remember the phrase monarchs and vassals from the very end of this passage, but it's not relevant in this particular section of the passage, so we can eliminate choice C for that reason. Then we have the institution of ritual kingship, and ding, 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 that's exactly what we're talking about. It's the history and origins of meanings and demise of ritual kingship. So that matches exactly what we highlighted, exactly what we proactively identified. We should be able to select D proactively at this point. And then choice E, feudal nobility's forms of religious devotion. Well, we're not concerning ourselves with the religious devotion at this point. If you enjoyed this LSAT reading comprehension explanation video, please consider liking it or subscribing to our channel so that you'll be alerted when new explanation videos are produced by my guru. Also, check out the description below because within it, you'll find links to full prep test sets of explanations as well, and some additional links that can help you as you walk your LSAT journey. And remember that applying to law school is supposed to be hard.